Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and my husband David and I are currently on EF Ultimate Breaks Greek Island trip. We are in Mykonos today, and we are about to start our long journey home. Today we have a bus ride from our hotel to the ferry, and then a 5-hour ferry ride from Mykonos to Athens, and then a bus ride to the hotel, and then we're going to check into our hotel for tonight. We're also going to have our farewell dinner tonight, and then after our farewell dinner, we are going to go back to the hotel, sleep probably just a little bit before heading to the airport, and then flying all day tomorrow. So we have been on this trip. I think today is technically day 10 of the trip. It has been so much fun so far, but I'm just going to take you on the long travel journey home over the next 2 days. I'm going to combine the videos, and then I'm also going to do like an overall trip review on the experience of this trip. This is my 5th EF trip, and this is David's 4th EF trip. So we are, I want to say like we're EF pros. We're also ambassadors. So if like watching this video convinces you to travel with them, be sure to use the link and code down below to get $100 off your first trip with them. I'm a big fan, but everything in the whole world has problems, so I like to address like concerns and stuff in my videos just so you're aware of them. I also go over tips and tricks with packing and what I wish I did and didn't bring. I have a packing video that went up on my channel. I will link it right here, but I just want to give an overall trip, what I thought, and everything like that on the way home, which is what I typically do. But today we're going to combine it into two videos, or 2 days into one video, because we have such a long ferry ride today, and if I don't have a seat by the window, like, I can't really get a lot of content. So, but we're all packed up. We're going to head to breakfast. Breakfast is included, and yeah, that's that. For outfits today, I'm just wearing the white, like, cropped tank top from Athleta with these like fun blue and white pants, and then my sandals, and then David is wearing this cream shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts on him, and then green shorts, and then his gym shoes. We made it on the ferry. We're not sure if we're in our seats or not yet, like our correct seats or not, but it is a very nice ferry, so that's good. But my number one first tip for this trip is to absolutely pack light. You are going on buses, you are going on a lot of stairs, you are going on ferries, and it just can be very hectic and chaotic when like moving around and coordinating that. So being able to have all of your stuff like light and like packed closely together instead of like giant like checked bag sizes, it is so important, and it'll make everything so much easier for you. Alright, so we made it to our hotel. This is the same hotel that we stayed in when we were in Athens like last weekend, but we have a different room, and it is so much nicer. This is our room. How awesome. So we have like a full little like kitchen area here, and then we have a nice bathroom, and we have a nice bed, sitting area. David, he looks so good in this shirt today.
Just carried a suitcase up 5 flights of stairs.
6, because we started below 1.
Oh.
Okay, here's our balcony. Oh my gosh. This is so nice. Ah, this is so cool. This is like the biggest balcony ever. Do we connect with someone's room over here? No, it's all ours. This is literally awesome. Too bad we're only here for like not even 12 full hours because we have to catch a flight. This is so nice. All right, so since we have a minute here, I have like a whole list of stuff I want to talk about in this video. I know a lot of people like just when they're like researching the Greek island trip, they'll watch my packing video and then my like review video, and so I know that this is what most people will watch. So I have points I want to talk about. The first one being things that I wanted while I was traveling, but like I forgot to bring, or I thought about them after I already got here. The first, allergy meds, not like my EpiPen, because I like have stuff like that, but I mean like just like generic like allergy pills, because me being around sesame seeds would make the roof of my mouth itch and my nose like runny, and then being around all the stray cats here, I'm also allergic to cats, and so like I just felt like my roof of my mouth was constantly itchy, and I wish that I had like an allergy pill to take, and I just like didn't even think of it. I also think having a portable charger would have been so wonderful, because you're on the ferry. Like today the ferry ride was 5 hours and there are no like chargers or anything on there, so like it would just be helpful to have like a portable charger and then being able to like charge that at night. What would have been helpful, having a microfiber towel, because you're like going and going and going all the time. You don't ever really have a time for like your towel to fully dry, and so just like having one that would be like fast drying and like you could roll up real small would be helpful. Will I buy one before I go on my next trip? It's Australia and New Zealand and we're gonna be like in the water and stuff. Probably not, but like it would be helpful if I had one, you know? Another thing I think that would have been helpful to just like know in general would be that like taxis on the islands are pretty expensive. Like when we did our pictures in Santorini, our taxi one way, like to get there was 45 euro and to get back was 40 euro, and that just wasn't like what we were expecting. I will also say about that is that you have to like ask what the fee is going to be before getting into the taxi, because it's all set and you want to know before like you get there and it's like too late, you know?
I think that'd be a little more specific there. That's just my opinion.
Okay, David thinks I should clarify and say, so that you know before you arrive at your destination and they upcharge you. Another thing that I think would have been helpful to bring would be like just 1 or 2 pairs of socks, because not in this hotel, but like in some of the hotels, the floors would be tile and it would get so cold with the air conditioning. We wouldn't want to get up and walk on the tile floor, but that's just like a personal thing, you know? And then last thing that I wanted, but like didn't have with me, is I wanted, like, I wish I would have packed like one more extra shirt. I'm gonna be re-wearing like a shirt I wore for a couple hours earlier this week on the airplane tomorrow, which is like no big deal, but I think you should realize up front, like you'll wear one thing in the morning and like go out on the boat or go to the beach or go wherever, and then you'll come back and have like a couple hours to like shower and change, and you'll want to wear like a dress or something else to go out to dinner. The majority of the people in our group did like dress up more for dinner every night, so it's just like something to think about when you're packing. But that's all for things I wanted but didn't bring or didn't think about bringing, and then I'll go over my other points a little bit later so that I don't just finish the vlog right now. We're heading to the farewell dinner, which is included in our trip, and we actually already all chose what we're going to eat. Not that I remember, but David's getting meatballs. I have no idea what I'm gonna get. It's like a surprise, I feel like. We got some gelato. David got watermelon. I got caramel. And then we also got some t-shirts. We don't usually buy t-shirts, but we decided to this time. Also at the end of this video when we get home, I'm gonna go over how much money we spent, because that's the question I'm asked all the time, and I think it's very just insightful to know, and it does not bother me to share. So I'm gonna do that when I go over everything a little bit later in this video, but we're just gonna eat our gelato and then go into our restaurant for our farewell dinner. We just finished our farewell dinner. It was so good. David and I both got the meatballs, and like they were so tasty. I love them. But we also got little gifts from our tour director. We had Paola today, or for the whole trip. Again, we met her in London and Paris, and then we like requested her again for we're going on Ultimate Italy next year, so she got approval on this trip to be with us again next year. We can't wait, we're so excited. That is our little update now. We are going to go hop on the metro and then go back and sleep for like 3 hours. before we go on the transfer to go to the airport and start like another long travel day. So that's my update for right now. I will continue with tips and money and everything tomorrow sometime at the airport. But that's it now. Did you enjoy the dinner?
I did.
Did you enjoy your little gift?
I did.
Good. I love that. All right, it's been a couple hours. It is now 2:15 in the morning. We are up and ready to go catch on the bus to go to the airport. We made it to the airport. Oh, you fist bumping?
Oh, I thought I was pretending like I had my passport.
We made it
right
to the
now.
airport. All that work we did to have carry-ons, and they made us check both of them. It's okay. I'm fine. We had a bottle of wine coming back with us, so we 100% like checked one of them, but like I really wanted the other to stay with me.
At the very least, both of the checked bags are free.
That's true. It is free
I'll
now. It used to not be free. But now that we're here and we're sitting down, I'm going to talk about things that I brought with me that I did not use. So one of them being my tripod. I brought that thinking we'd set it up and take pictures. I was way too busy. I was worried that someone would like take it, so we didn't even bring it out of the hotel room. Second thing is jeans. I thought it would get chilly at night and I'd want jeans to wear. That's not the case for August, September in Greece. And then third was the waterproof fanny packs that I panic bought on Amazon. We used those like just because I had them. I like put stuff in them, but it wasn't like I like.
It wasn't imperative to have.
Yeah, it wasn't like I put stuff in it and then wore it in the water and stuff. It was just like I had it just in case water got on my bag. So I don't really think that you like need that. But it like, you know, I guess it was nice to have.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel.
We made it to Paris. Our flight this morning was not bad at all. It was very smooth and everything, so hopefully that's an indication for the whole day. But we got some lunch, got through their like customs and stuff here, got a new passport stamp. We've been to Paris before, but it's like fun to get another. I just wanted to go over right now things that I am happy that I brought on this trip. The first thing, I'm happy that I have like my corded headphones and then my noise canceling headphones, because for like the long ferry rides it was just like so nice to like be able to listen to music or podcasts or whatever. And then I'm happy that I brought my tablet with books downloaded to read. I definitely think you should bring a book with you for the ferry just because it helps pass time. I'm also very happy that I brought a lot of swimsuits because our hotels would have swimming pools too, so it would just be nice. Like when we skipped the volcano cruise, it was nice that we could like hang out at the hotel, and then I had a swimsuit for that day. I actually had one extra swimsuit, so over prepared, but we'd rather that than under prepared. Another thing I'm happy about is that we brought like a drawstring backpack for like a beach bag that was really nice to just like load up towels and sunscreen and stuff like that and take it to the beach and on the boat. Our tour director did gift us like a little bag, but I liked how our drawstring one you could pull it closed, and it was nice to have like something that could get like sandy or wet or whatever that was not like my carry-on or my backpack that I brought as like my personal item, like this one. Another thing, I'm so glad I only brought 2 pairs of shoes. I'm used to like EF trips being super like into like walking like 100 miles and stuff like that. This was not. This was way more relaxed. I brought 1 pair of sandals that are like nicer looking for like our pictures or going out to dinner at night or like whatever like that. And then I brought my Tevas. These, I love these, so comfortable. They were absolutely perfect for this trip. They are the Hurricane Drifts. I'm obsessed with them, only $40. I 100% recommend them to everyone. I could rave on and on about them forever.
One thing I'm glad Elizabeth brought is me, because I don't know what she would do here without me.
Says the guy who's putting candy in his mouth that I packed for him because I knew that he would get grumpy without little snacks even though he just had lunch.
Yes.
Anyway, another thing that I am beyond grateful for, let me try to find it. Okay, I found it. One thing I'm so thankful that I ordered was this allergy card. It has English that I'm allergic to sesame seed and oil on one side, and then it says it in Greek on the other, and this was beyond helpful. I would just hand it to like my server or waiter, and then they would take it to the chef and like confirm for me, and that was just like major peace of mind. I really liked that. I only had one incident, and that was the one time I didn't like show it to someone else, and that was like day one of the trip, and I learned my lesson. But speaking of me bringing candy for David, things that I brought that I did not include in my packing video that I like thought of later, I brought candy. So I brought like Tootsie Pops, and then those like apple suckers covered in caramel, and then some Tootsie Rolls just to like have to like snack on, or like, you know, whatever. Love that. I always recommend bringing candy. Also Dramamine, we brought just like a little like travel size thing of it, but it made us very drowsy on the ferry, so we got these like stickers that went right here from one of the other girls on our trip. She just brought them from Amazon and said that they worked wonders. I didn't need them, but David ended up really liking them.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way.
Alright guys, I completely dropped the ball on vlogging at the airport, but we made it home on time, safe. Everything was super smooth and easy. Our bags made it back. The wine made it back. It didn't break. It was a good but long travel day. There are just a few more things that I want to go over before I end this video. The first being things I was worried about. I was worried. I had heard that we would stay in places without any AC, and even though we had like a hiccup at our hotel in Mykonos, everything else we had air conditioning. There were elevators available at all of them that we were staying up like multiple floors. The elevators are tiny. That's like a European thing. They're not like big 10 people elevators. They are like little 1-person elevators, but they were available if we like needed them. The line to get in them to take your bags upstairs was ridiculous, but if you just pack in a carry-on, you don't have to worry about that. Second, I had someone ask what exact trip that we went on. So we went on the Greek islands trip, and we landed in Athens, spent like 2 days in Athens, then went to Santorini, Paros, Mykonos, and then back to Athens before flying home. EF has a lot of different like Greece islands options, like which islands you go to, and I think they also have like a cruise now, like a cruise Greece. So if you have a specific island you want to go to, they have plenty of options, but I wanted to be sure that I went to Santorini because that was like bucket list. Next question I got was this more of a party trip? I'm not a party person, and I still enjoyed it. However, most of our group, this was probably the biggest group that I had that had the most people that were party people. So I am not a party person, and then we met a couple who is not like a party couple, didn't like to go out and drink and dance and go to the nightclubs and stuff. And then there was one other girl that we hung out with continuously who like did not want to do that either. So there were other people, but I would say the majority of the people on this trip were wanting to go, like especially in Mykonos, to go out and enjoy it, and like that's okay. I would say that this is more of a trip that's known for that, so I knew that going in. So just like take what you want out of that. Next question I got was, would I recommend this trip / would I go back to Greece? This is going to be probably an untraditional answer for most people, but I have very specific reasons why I'm answering this way. Yes, I would recommend this trip if you are someone who wants like a relaxing vacation, wants to see some beautiful spots, who wants to go on an EF trip that's not so much like go, 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 and someone who likes Greek food. I personally would never go back to Greece just because, well, number one, I've been there before, but there are places that I've been to that I'd want to go back to. This was not one of them because I have a sesame seed and sesame oil allergy. It just made it super hard to eat stuff. A lot of traditional, like, Greek things have sesame seeds on them or have touched sesame seeds or have been, like, made with the oil, and I am not a fan of Greek food in general, but then my allergies on top of that made this trip, like, specifically very hard to eat. So and I'm like a picky eater, so it doesn't make my job easy, but usually I do not struggle at all when I go out of the country, and on this trip I really did, so I would not go back. This was the trip that, like, it was the most beautiful, like, places that we'd ever been to. Everything was just, like, absolutely gorgeous, and I really like that. But when I travel, I don't really like the relaxing trips. The Costa Rica trip that I did was not my favorite because it was more like beachy and like hang out. And then when we went to Jamaica, it was kind of like beachy, you just hang out, and I don't really like that type of vacation style. I like to be going. I want to hit the end of the day and lay down and have like 20,000 steps that day. I want to go out, explore, see absolutely everything, be adventurous. I like seeing different architecture, and I love going to places that have public transportation and like a metro system so that I can feel like I can go wherever I want to. On the islands, you had to take taxis, and it's not that, like, I don't like taxis, but the taxis were expensive. We did photos in the morning, and round trip, like, getting from our hotel to the place we took photos, it was a $45 taxi, and then, or euro, but they're, like, equal right at this moment in time, so it's, like, the same price. Anyway, on the way back, it was $40 again coming back, so that's $85 round trip to get photos, or, like, just to, like, go into from where our hotel was. So I don't love that. I just think that I would rather, like, be able to hop on a metro and go wherever I want and, like, not be limited based on, like, taxis. So take with that what you want. Just my personal travel style. I know a lot of people said that that was, like, the best trip of their entire life, and I think, like, just because I travel a lot and I've been to a lot of places and that I appreciate different things when I travel, that it just wasn't mine. And it's not anything about the trip, it's just my personal travel style. I want to be going, I want to be seeing. I want, like, the tour directors always say, okay, well, I'm going to walk you around, you know, we're going to go out for a walk. I want someone to basically hold my hand and walk me to all of the beautiful places that I need to see. I want to see everything. I want to get out and I want to walk and exercise and, like, do all that. But I know some people would be like, that sounds like the worst thing in the world. So I understand. Okay, the last question is about money. This is the question that everyone always asks. And let me tell you, Greece is expensive. You got that with the taxi rides. The food is pricey. Like, it's just like an expensive destination, which is like, you know that going in. So we always like to get cash out before we go. And we got out, like, ordered from our bank. I always get questions about this too. Okay, let me just start over. Okay, so when we travel, we like to go to our bank and order the currency of the place that we're going from our bank account. So I walked into the bank and said, I like to order some euros. We ordered 1,090 euro and took it with us. The reason I got more than I probably usually would is because we paid our photographer the remainder of our photo balance in cash instead of through, like, an online payment system, and so I wanted to have extra because of that. But I did write down everything that we spent any sort of money on, down to like 50 cents for a bottle of water. Every time we would buy something there, I would put it in the notes app on my phone just for you guys. You should feel so special. But I wanted to go over everything. I will say, number one, since I was so nervous about my allergies, David and I typically had like pizza or pasta every night because those are genuinely pretty safe. So a lot of times we would have meals, like we would get a pizza and share it. So some of our meals were cheaper than what you could spend. And then David and I aren't like huge drinkers, and so it wasn't like we were going every meal and getting like a glass of wine or a beer. There would be some meals that we did that, and when we were in Mykonos, we each drank, like, we had a night where we like splurged on alcohol and then drank quite a bit. But I will say, like, this is probably not typical. If you like to go out and have like a couple drinks with dinner, you're going to be spending way more money. But I'm just like being upfront and honest about what our travel style is and how we like get food, spend money on drinks and everything like that. Also, not big souvenir people, so there were some people who bought dresses and jewelry and stuff like that, and like we just didn't. I looked, I didn't see anything I liked though. So going over everything, we spent all of that money except for 10 euro. What we bought, we did spend $4.80 on, when I say dollars, I mean euro. So just take that going forward. $4.80 on a magnet, $5 on like a hair clip thing, $10 on a taxi to come back in Paros from the group was staying out until midnight and we didn't want to. We split that taxi ride. It was $20, but we split it with another couple. We spent $85 on taxis going to and from our place for pictures. We spent $6 on a Christmas ornament, and then $30 we did each get a long sleeve shirt for $15. So on like other / souvenirs in taxis, $140.80. We spent, between tipping our tour director and all of the guides for like just our excursions and stuff, walking tours, everything like that, between David and I, we spent $146.75. For excursions, we spent, and when I say like $60 for a food tour, that's $30 each. So like if you're going by yourself, this would all be like halved. But $60 for a food tour that our tour director put together on her own, and we just like decided to go with what she organized, and it wasn't like through EF. $130 on a barbecue boat tour in Paros. So fun. Highlight of the trip by far. $420 on pictures. $100 of that was a deposit before, so it was technically only $320 day of. The photographer that we used was available on Flytographer. If you want to go and book him, you can use my link and code down below. It is cheaper, but you do get less time and less photos if you book through Flytographer, and I've been following him on Instagram for years now, so I just went directly through him to book him, but he is on there if you want photos for a cheaper price. And then $30 for like a transfer to go to the beach. We all pitched in to rent the bus, like an extra time for that, if that makes sense. So excursions plus pictures was an additional $640, and then food and drinks. So this was any alcohol, any water, because you can't have tap water on the island, so you have to buy bottled water, and then water is not free with your meals, so if you want water at your meals, you also have to pay for that. This also includes food in the airport going there, but I did not include any of the food coming home because I had already done all this, but I think I spent like, I don't know, maybe $30 in airport food coming home. But for food, we spent a total of $496.97 between the two of us. Cash amount that we paid out of that was $362.25, but with the card / we went out to dinner with another couple often, and since they had extra cash, they would pay cash and we'd Venmo them, so card / Venmo was $134.72. I will say it is much easier to have plenty of cash on you when you're out eating with other people, because you can always pay cash for the bill instead of like someone putting it on their card. It just makes it easier and simpler. But a total for all of that, plus we spent an extra $16, just like throwing that in there. But all of that boils down to $1,440.52. That boils down to $65 per day per person, but without pictures or the taxi ride to get there, because most people wouldn't do that, it boiled down to $42.52 per person per day. So that could be more or less than you'd want to spend, but that's what we personally spent. I hope that gives you some insight on what you should plan on. The cheapest meal that we had was, I think, like between the two of us, like $12 for a pizza, and then I think the most expensive meal that we had was $68 between the two of us when we each got, like, I got a mocktail and he got a beer with dinner, that is. But that is that. I hope it gives you some clarity. I hope it helps with your planning and everything like that. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I really did enjoy making them. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the next EF set of videos that we'll have coming out. We are going on their Australia and New Zealand trip, and then we also have the Ultimate Italy trip booked, and then I'm organizing a trip to Spain, Morocco, and Portugal if anyone is interested in coming. That would be so much fun to have you come along and explore with us. That'll be like a girls trip that we have so far. We have one guy going, but it's mainly a girls trip, and it'll be just so much fun. Finn is sleeping. He's so cute. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!